So we're here in day 2. It looks like it's really sunny, and it is really sunny, but it's quite nippy. Our breath was frosting as we left the flat. We've walked in again. It wasn't a bad walk, was it, guys? And change of plans. I was going to be playing with Beans today, but I'm lucky to stay with one of the nicest New Zealand people who's coming in for a game of bridge today. But he's playing with John, so I'm playing with his wife. You could see that coming, couldn't you? It's Andi Berry. Woo! And we're playing with Nikki and Ben in the 0 to 10k 2-day Swiss teams. Nikki was looking for a partner, Andi was free, and Beans can't qualify for that because he's too good. So Matt's in the day 2 of the Platts. Beans and D-Lev are in the new NABC pairs event. That's a new event to the calendar, so it's another national title for Beans to try and win. And there's lots of other people. There's quite a lot of people here that I haven't seen yet. They're all in different rooms, so I'll show you all the different rooms in a second, but we're going to walk in at the front of the east tower, and apparently play spans both towers, but my guess is that the other tower will be the kind of like open pairs and random Gold Rush stuff as well. So I'm actually moderately warm after the walk in, but we're going to go in and write a system card out. So that is for day 2 of the Louisville or Louisville NABC. We're inside the venue now. I'm going to see what today's serving is. It looks like a pot of fruit and yogurt. There's the bookstall. I will be buying a book at some point. And then there's like a coffee stand, and then there's Stefan's Into Bridge stand. There's Stefan over there. He did well against us yesterday. And here's some of the sign-in desks, people milling around. We've got about 20 minutes before we start play. I'm going to get a pot of the granola, fruit and yogurt, is it? Or yogurt, as I think Americans call it. So I'm going to help myself to one of these. So you can see down here, hi Espen. I will do, yeah. So you can see there, the platinum pairs are N2, and then I think there's the seniors pairs, and then different events are different down here. And if you go into the rooms, they're all segregated, I think. So there's Clerk. Hi Clerk. Yeah, you on film. So they kind of segregate the whole room, so if they need a bigger field, they can take this barrier out and kind of make it bigger or smaller or something like that. So I don't know what event this is today. What event's this? Oh, this is the new open pair, so you can see how many people are expecting. This is the one that D11 and Beans are playing in, the one that was going to be playing in, but I'm not anymore. So you can see quite a lot of people expected in this, so that should be good. And this is one of the rooms down this corridor. So we're going to look for our teammates. I'm going to get some yogurt, and you can see that the rooms go all the way down here, so they're all the way in this side of the building are people playing. So I don't know where we are today. We might be in the other tower, I don't know, or maybe in one of the smaller end rooms, so I don't know how many people. My expectation is going to be about 32 teams. From the last one I played in, that was the size of the field, so we will do what we can. Top half qualify for day 2. So yeah, let's eat some brekkie. So we've got 26 teams, which is a bit down on last year. I think last year was 32. And so we're playing to, I don't know, roughly half the field tomorrow, maybe 14, 16 teams. Something like that, maybe 14. It's about half, isn't it? We won the first match 15-5, and then the second match we played against what I think is a sponsored team, I think it is anyway, so we'll see. And we did alright. Andi had one that was quite nice, so she picks up, I can't remember the exact heart pips, which has got stiff ace, king jack to 5. You'll see the pips on the screen in a second. It's a good thing we've got hand records, isn't it? So I have to manufacture this later. Good luck, future Steve. And she's got queen 3rd diamond and king 4th club. So that's and it goes a spade on your right. I actually like doubling on these hands. I think there's a very big danger of bidding 2 hearts and going pass, pass, double, pass, 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 and you're going for a packet because you've got all these bitty honours. But Andi bid 2 hearts, and it goes pass, pass, pass. All right. So they lead a king of spades, which is a really good lead to see. The hand on your left passed, and they've led a king, which means you can sort of place all the other points in the deck. And dummy goes down with a good hand, but no hearts. So they've got more hearts than you have. You've violated what's called Burns law. You need to have more trumps than the opponents have. And so you're in 2 hearts here. And if you're ever in contracts like this, you need to play it the way Andi did play this hand. You need to try and make all your little trumps. You need to try and, well, first of all, count to 8 tricks. What are your prospects for 8 tricks? Well, you're going to make 1 spade. You're going to make some number of diamonds. Let's say things are nice and you can make 2 diamonds. and you're going to make probably one club unless there's lucky the ace doubleton. But the problem is, even if you get a lucky split in one of the suits, or your diamonds are all good, you just can't draw trumps. You can't. Your hearts aren't good enough. You haven't got many enough to draw trumps. So you just have to try and wrangle 8 tricks by ruffing and hoping that they get stuck and you can ruff. And you've got what is probably the best card in your hand is actually the 4th round of clubs, because that's your exit card. They can't probably, if clubs are 3-3 for example, they can't pull that from you. And so what I mean by that is, Andi wins the ace of spades. She crosses to a diamond and ruffs a spade. She crosses to another diamond, and the guy who's led the king of spades is like king and then small, so it looks like they've got a doubleton. So you probably won't be able to ruff another spade, so you cross to another diamond just to hope it can't stands up, and it does. So diamonds are 2-2, and you play a club off dummy towards your king, which wins. Well, you know it's going to win because the hand on your right is going to have the ace of clubs and probably the ace of hearts, because the hand on your left passed over 2 hearts, so they're not going to have much. So once you've made your 4 outside tricks, you made your ace of spades, your ace king of diamonds, your king of clubs, and you've ruffed something. You're on 5. You need to make 3 more tricks, and they all need to be hearts. There's no realistic way of making a trick that isn't a heart without them doing something silly. So what Andi did, Andi just starts exiting now. Andi exits with a club, and it goes 10, and you duck just in case there's ace doubleton, and maybe you can do something weird with that. And they cashed a 3rd club, so clubs were 3-3 as well. So you now know that diamonds are 2-2, clubs are 3-3, and then hand on your right can't have 5 hearts, so they must be something like 5-4-2-3. That seems like the most likely shape. So maybe the hand on your left's got 3rd spade, and you get put to the test now. And they played a spade through. They played the queen of spades, and so Andi think, well, I need to make 3 heart tricks. So you need to make the king and the jack, but you also need to make another one. So you need this ruff to stand up. So you ruff with the small heart, and it holds. Brilliant. You've now got 2 brilliant cards in your hand. You've got the queen of diamonds. Neither defender's got any diamonds left, and you've got the last club. No defender's got any clubs left. And so now you're only needing 2 more tricks. You exit with one of your -2 cards. So let's say you exit with the queen of diamonds. And what does the defence do? Well, someone has to ruff it, and they have to play something, and you can just play whatever they play. You can ruff or follow with the jack of hearts. And so now, whenever the opening bid has got ace and queen of hearts, you're making this. They can't untangle all the tricks, you can't do anything. And so the queen of diamonds got ruffed, they played a heart, Andi won the jack, and then she exited with a club. They ruffed on your right, and they played a spade through, but you ruff with the king, and you're just playing for the opening bid to have the ace. And so Andi made 8 tricks in a 5-0 fit, which seems pretty good. But that's the sort of thing you need to think about if you're ever in such an awful fit that you know you can't pull jumps. See some really nice people.
No, not now, Steve, no.
Do you want to see a really nice person? Nikki said not now. We have Ben. Hi, Ben.
Hello, everybody.
It's Ben Levine. We are Team Levine today. So we're 1 win, 1 loss, and if we keep winning big, then we're losing. We'll be fine. But that was a big loss. So we get to, obviously in Swiss, you get to play someone who's not doing very well. So hopefully now we get a weaker team. That was definitely a sponsored team, I think, of sorts. So and at the other table, the sponsored pair kept just bidding 3N, and if you bid enough thin 3Ns or bad 3Ns, some of them will make, and that's what happened. So onward and upward. We've got 6 more matches to go. Andi and I are done. We're done with loads of time to spare. There's Andi. There's Andi. So we're just taking a wander. You can see, I think all these American hotels are nice. I think we're going over the bridge. Is it up? And yeah, so we're going out. We're basically in this. We can take the escalator. We're basically in this hotel that's kind of bridged across the road. So we've got Galthouse East and Galthouse West, and we're going on the bridge over. There's like a Starbucks or something. So I'm going to treat Andi to a blueberry muffin for playing so well so far. I wouldn't say it's a good set. We had a set with no mistakes. So in that regard, it's good. I think we've beaten one contract we have no right to beat, and then we made all the plus scores we can make, and they said they missed a slam, but I led the jack of spades and queen jack tight against 5 spades, and I'd preempted already. I'd preempted in clubs, and so I led the jack, and dummy had 10-9 to 4, and Declare's got king empty to 5, so it went jack of spades, small, ace, small, and when they get in, they didn't even think about trying to take the finesse, and they just dropped my queen.
So I'm like, oh well, what can you do? And they make 12, and then they said, oh, we missed a slam, but they're missing ace queen jack of spades. So I didn't want to correct them, but so yeah, we had a decent set. We're wandering over. So this is the bridge, you can see, and then I think the other side you've got a view of the river, the other side of this complex, and we're just going to a Starbucks that last time didn't have flat whites. How can you not have flat whites in a coffee place? Not that I drink that, I drink black coffee, but so yeah, we probably, that's the fastest set we've played so far for quite a while. I think we whizzed through. They've probably got about 20 minutes left, so we're just taking a wander, and we'll wander back with Nikki and Ben, and then need to decide where we're going to eat lunch as well. So no massively interesting boards, and I think you get this when you're dealing your own. You get flat boards, people can't shuffle properly. Hey guys, downstairs.
Yeah. What are you looking for?
Some coffee.
Okay, that's fine. I'm just filming of the employees.
Oh, okay, no, I'm pointing it at me. It's fine. Okay, I've been told to stop filming the employees. Not that I'm doing that, but I'm gonna head off for now. So we're in a place called Potbellies, which is like Subway, but nice. I mean, Subway's nice, but this is nice. This meat here. So we've got, I'll show you my meat in a sec, on my steakhouse cheese. It's pretty good. We've won 2, lost 2. So we're on the cusp of qualification. I don't know how many teams make it through yet. We're about 40 after 4. So our recent loss was the smallest, and we had 2 medium wins and 1 big loss. So we will see. There was a hand against 5 hearts. So I think I'm just going to show you the whole hand. It goes a heart from the south. Andi bids 2 clubs. North bids 5 hearts pass, and South thinks for ages about what on earth this can mean. And the colours are favourable. And anyway, ends up passing, and dummy puts down a 3 count. And Andi leads the ace of clubs and switches to a nice signal for diamonds. I play the 2 of clubs on this, and Andy switches to a trump. So declarer draws trumps in 2 rounds, they're 2-1 obviously, and then ends up in roughs a club and plays a diamond towards his hand. So I play small in case he's got a guess, and he puts the king on this. And then he roughs another club and plays another diamond off dummy. And, well, Andy's given me count, and Andy didn't switch to a diamond, so Andy can't really have the queen, I don't think. I think from queen third, maybe they'd have switched to a diamond, I don't know. And if Declare had king jack X, he would have guessed. Declare's got king queen, and Andy's given me count, so Declare's got king queen X exactly. How on earth are we beating this if that's the case? He's going to be able to set these diamonds up, and if Andy has the ace of spades, that's fine. I can win the ace of diamonds later and play a spade to the ace. If Andy hasn't got the ace of spades, we can't beat this. So I ducked another diamond, and he thought for a long time about whether he doesn't know me, whether I'm good enough to duck twice, or whether Andy is ducked from ace X and I've got jack 10x of diamonds. And whatever swayed him, basically Andy is the hand that opened, that overcalled 2 clubs vulnerable. So he played Andy for the ace of diamonds and ace doubleton and ducked. And Andy won the jack, and now he's off. We can effectively force him, and we might even get the king of spades as an ending. But more importantly, if I take the ace of diamonds, he makes it. He can unblock his, untangle his things and get his jack of spades away in the winning diamond. So ended up being win 11. But we only won 11 because of this 5 heart bid. If they just bid 4 hearts, we can't touch it. So teammates made 450 in 4 hearts, and we beat 5. So that felt really good. So that was that kept us in that match. We only lost by like 7 imps and something. So yeah, we're all right. We're going to have another fun. I'm going to show you Ben's food so you can see what the food's like. And he gave jazz hands as well, so that's what the sort of sandwich you've got. It's like Subway, but classy Subway maybe. So we're now 3 wins out of 5, or doing alright. We've got duplicated boards. They do this weird thing where if you're close to the bubble being the cut-off point, you get duplicated boards. I'm like, why? Why can't we have them all the time? Like, there's no reason.
if you think they're important for the duplicated, for the cut-off, they should just be the case for all of it. Anyway, so from recent advice from chatting to some people, I've adopted something when we respond to 2 clubs. A partner open 2 clubs, and you have no, you open 2 clubs. This is your hand. This is Andy's hand. You open 2 clubs, and you have ace to 3, king queen tight, king x 6 solid. So you open 2 clubs. I don't know what Andy was planning to rebid, but over this, your partner bids 2 hearts. And historically, I've generally not wanted to show positives over 2 clubs because it takes away the space from the hand that needs to show their hand. And I think people used to show positives on hands that probably didn't deserve to positive, and you can catch up later. So I'm a big believer of bidding 2 diamonds on most hands over 2 clubs. And I've taken some advice to show positives only when you have a 6 card or longer suit, or when you're 5-5. Now, there's a big advantage to doing both of these things. One, being able to tell partner you've got a 6 card suit for your positive is a really good thing. And 2, you need to be able to bid out your 5-5s. So in this particular case, when partner responds 2 hearts to 2 clubs, partner has a positive and has either got 6 hearts or 5-5. So maybe hearts and spades or hearts and diamonds or something. We haven't actually discussed whether we'd bid hearts or spades if we were 5-5 in the majors, but maybe partner's 5-5 in the reds, and from your hand that's an eminent possibility. So Andy was able to bid 3 clubs just to pass the time, and then over 3 clubs I bid 3N. Now Andy knows that I have 6 hearts. Because I haven't shown a second 5 card suit. I haven't supported clubs either. So I'm probably got some sort of balanced hand, maybe with a singleton club or not, but with 6 hearts and a positive. So Andy was able to agree hearts, and then it was by bidding 4 hearts. I don't think you can pass this necessarily with my hand, so I bid 4 spades as a Q bid, and Q, key card, and so on, and we bid to 6. But we were able to get to 6 hearts, so we won 2 imps against people in 6 clubs at the other table. Might be better to play in 6N, both tables potentially, then only one of your long suits might need to come in, maybe, if you've got enough stuff elsewhere. But I think that's a good thing to do. I think encouraging partner not to just show positives all over the place when you open 2 clubs is good, especially like you don't really want to show positives 3 of a minor, you just take up too much space. And having a strict rule on what your positives are, in this particular case Andy was able to evaluate the Queen of Hearts. King Queen tight of hearts is a really good holding opposite a 6 card suit. It's not as good opposite a 5 card suit because you can never find out about the jack, which is what you might need to play in that suit at the 6th level. So Andy knew I've got ace to 6 opposite King Queen tight, that's usually going to be 6 tricks, so plus 6 club tricks, plus the ace of spades, plus whatever else I have for my positive, meant that all we were missing was the ace of diamonds, and so we made 10-10 and won 2 imps. So I like that. It's come up 3 times since I've adopted it with various partners, and every time it is felt useful. So as agreements go, if you want to try that, do that. I mean, we play Kokish, and it works with Kokish, it works with all these other things as well. And one of the other reasons to not show too many positives is if you're playing Kokish, partner might need to Kokish out. And if you're always showing a positive whenever you have a random 7 or 8 count, without a really good, some people doing on it, King Jack 10 to 5 or something like that. You can just show that later. So we won that. We got 2 imps on the board. We obviously won more on other boards. We won that match by 23 imps. So we are now in not coming up to the finish line, but 3 matches to go. We're above average. So currently we're in the qualifying positions. So we just need to not mess up from here, and we should be okay. Been told to pipe down. We've been playing duplicated boards all afternoon. Bit of few thin games, won 10 imps. We had 2 poor defences. Again, it's not good bridge. I don't really want to show you things that aren't good bridge, but we lost heavily, so we'll be about average, and I think we'll probably need to win a last match to make it to day 2. I think we're on something like well, I don't know what are we on. We've played 7 matches. I think we'll be on something like 68 VPs or something like that after 7, which we might be on the borderline for qualification, but obviously if we lose our last match we won't. So I don't think we've necessarily come up against any teams that stomped us. We've just, sometimes things don't go your way. So I don't have much more to say, to be honest, so sorry, apologies, update over. But we're coming in for, we've got 5 minutes left on the clock in for the last round. Beans and D-Lev have just come back, and they are on the borderline for making day 2 of the NABC pairs, and Matt and John in the platinum pairs are borderline qualification for day 3. They were on the border after one set of today, but who knows if they're still in contention or whether they're just having a stonking session and coasting. So the Discord group are struggling today, I think, struggling to qualify, but I mean it's still in our own hands. We just need to win. Probably like an 11-9 or 12-8 win's probably good enough looking at the VPs. So, and then tomorrow it'll be carryovers and things, and so we'll have a negligible carryover because we're going to be near the bottom if we do qualify. And tomorrow there'll be 14 teams, so tomorrow you'll play over half the field, so you'll play nearly everyone, I think. You'll play like 8 of the other 13 teams. So some of the other sessions are finished. You can see people milling about behind me. So some of these people haven't played in our section. They're just here to see friends, and we're going to be, because we started late, we're going to be late. I might go for some drinks with some friends afterwards, some of the Finnish and Polish people I know, and it's nice to keep it cheap and eat in, but occasionally going out for meals with friends is why you come to these. So that's the plan. Hopefully there'll be an interesting board in the last set that'll get us qualified, so be back shortly. Last round, tough. We made it! Woo! So we're in tomorrow. It was a clear win. We won by 20 odd imps or something, or 16 I think maybe. So we're going to go in tomorrow, and we'll probably something like 8 VPs above the bottom team, or whatever the bottom team might be, or thereabouts. So we'll have a very small carryover, but that's not the point. We've made day 2, which is good. I'm going to leave you with a hand. This is my hand, and your partner opens 3 diamonds, favourable first in, and we open some really bad hands, 2 diamonds at these colours. So this is probably going to be closer to a normal week 2 in diamonds. And you have, Beans is there, Beans can think about what it is. You have stiff ace, ace king jack to 5, stiff jack, jack 10 to 6. What do you do? Well, you've got loads of different choices. You're playing teams. You're favourable, but like you could pass 3 diamonds thinking it's the best thing to make, but then 3 diamonds might go off and 4 hearts might make, or 5 clubs might make, or something like that. So what's your intention? Well, because you've still got game on in potentially 2 different strains, I don't think you make 5 diamonds, but if partner has club or heart support, you might be able to make 4 hearts or 5 clubs. I think it's right to bid 3 hearts. You could bid 4 clubs first, but I think it's right to bid 3 hearts. You need 10 tricks in hearts and 11 tricks in clubs. I know you've got longer clubs. But I think if you bid 3 hearts and then offer 5 clubs, I think that probably does indicate you must have this many clubs or something like that. So I offered 3 hearts, and our partner's got a decision. With their hand, they are 1, 2, 6, 4, with ace to 6, ace to 4. So they've got a decision over 3 hearts. Do they introduce their 4-card club sort, or do they think a singleton and doubleton heart support is good enough? And they did. So they bid 4 hearts, and we made, after a poor opening lead, we made 12. But I think we're always making it to some extent. And we thought, oh, that's bad. We can make 6 clubs here. I don't think you're ever bidding it. And thankfully, teammates, I'll show you the full hand now, teammates conceded 400. What in, you might think? Well, they've been 4 spades, 4 off for 400. The opponents hardly bid. My hand didn't bid at all against them, and they just bid to 4 spades, went 4 off, and we won 2 imps on the board. So there were some wild hands there. Teammates did well. They came back thinking, well, we're not doing well, but then they produced some good boards and stuff. So we won by 16, and we win tomorrow. Beans, did you make it? Beans shook his head, he didn't make it. So Beans isn't there. I'm hearing, I think, that John and Matt didn't make it. We're not sure. So not many people made day 2 or 3 of the other events, but we're still in it. And then after tomorrow, there will be the Vanderbilt that starts on Monday. And that's where some of the serious stuff happens. Not that this isn't serious, but there we go. So well done, team. Woo! And I will see you in the next video.